Greetings, everybody. Welcome once again to the Rec Poker Podcast, sponsored as always by Running Aces Racetrack, Casino, and Hotel, and of course, website AMP. In this chats edition of the podcast, we're going to hang out with Starr Valdez, yet another one of our first-time guests. We've had like almost 250 episodes, and we're still finding new cool people to hang out with. So excited to chat with her. But let's first introduce our panel. My name is Steve Fredland. I go by Rec Poker Steve in the Poker Stars home game. And, you know, I'm thinking about Rec Poker and the community that we're building, and it reminded me of what Mother Teresa said. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples.
And I am Chris Jones. I'm 5x5 on the Poker Stars home game and on Twitter. And I'm really excited for our Heads Up tournament coming up in March. So looking forward to that.
I'm Jim Reed, Bluffsterini in the home game and at Hold'em_Steelers on Twitter. And I'm just here to say that if you're listening today, you're on the right side of the grass. So you're doing something right. Have a good day.
And I'm John Somsky, Poker Geek MN everywhere. And I have a quote by the late, great Lou Krieger. Poker is a microcosm of all we admire and disdain about capitalism and democracy.
Wow.
Go ahead, Rob.
I can't follow that. I'm Rob Washam. I'm Radman50 everywhere. And right now I'm in Laughlin and I'm not playing poker.
Yeah, I don't know if that's allowed or not, but well, thank you guys. Great panel. We got a few folks, few members that have joined us as well on there. We'll talk about more of this stuff later, but just real quick, the Fareed Jatton training, the Rec Poker exclusive training with Fareed is underway. You can still jump in if you want. And Chris sort of teased it. We'll talk more about this too, but heads up bracket, baby. 8 of us, the Marek Madness. It's going to be pretty crazy. We'll talk more about that later, but with that, let's bring her in. Starr Valdez, welcome to Rec Poker Star.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so super excited to be here with you guys finally.
And for those of you who are on video watching this, we also have Marty with us as well.
This is Marty.
Marty the dog has joined us as well.
He's the star. I'm just entertaining him right now.
So you are Marty, and forgive us, we don't mean to be breaking up you guys' makeout session, you and Marty, but we'll try to power on through the interview. But Starr, where are you actually located? Where are you calling us in from?
I'm actually in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Okay, nice. Are you from Mississippi originally, or did you find your way there somehow?
I'm not. I randomly stumbled here for a tournament and fell in love. So I came for the Gulf Coast Championship Series in 2018. And then I came back like a month early just to be here, and I haven't left yet.
What was it about Biloxi? What was it about the area that kept you there?
It's the ocean. You guys can't see it right now. I was hoping we had daytime views, but I have a view to the Gulf Coast, which is amazing, because one of my dreams was to play and see the water, or write a book and see the water. So I am living the dream in Biloxi, and it's like one of the best kept secrets because this place is amazing. It's almost like a baby Vegas. It's got the casinos like all lined up, and the Beau Rivage is one of my favorite casinos to play at. Have you guys been to the Beau Rivage?
Not me.
No, you need to get here.
Are you going to host us?
I'm hosting. We're having a party.
You know, let's do that. We're going to start these Rec Poker road trips as soon as we can. We're going to hang out with Fareed in Columbia. We're going to go crash. Whose place we're going to crash in Vegas? I forget who said we could come out there anytime. We'll go down to Mississippi. We'll hang out with Starr. So we got this thing figured out.
Yes, only if I'm invited to the Heads Up game that you guys were talking about for Twitter.
Ooh, we'll make that work. We will start another one. We have the bracket set already for this one, but next time, if it means a trip to Mississippi, maybe the losers in the Heads Up match have to host us. that's their punishment.
Are you assuming I'm going to lose? Is that
No. There has to be some incentive, right? So tell me a little bit about now. A lot of Rec Poker Nation might not know your story, so I think part of this is let's get to know who Starr Valdez is. So one of the things I know that you're involved with is the APAT Poker Tour, right? So talk a little bit about what that is and what your role is there.
I actually just recently signed on with APAT, and then we unfortunately had the COVID hit.
Mhm.
So I haven't been able to do much work with them yet, but I'm super excited to start. And they basically focus on bringing amateurs into the game, just kind of like you guys. And they run some tournament series, and they were prominently based in Europe, and now they're trying to make the switch to the US, and that's where I come in along with Tyler Knowles, I believe, is also going to be doing that. So we're just kind of going to be the ambassadors and try to get a lot of the amateur players in, and they have affordable tournaments to get these players hooked into the game so we can have some more fish. Just kidding.
Well, you've come to the right place. No, and that's what I was super intrigued when I was reading about some of your stuff. I'm like, well, that sounds like right up our alley. Like this idea of having it. So it's a poker tour, but geared toward amateurs, but I assume anybody can play. Is it just that the buy-ins are lower? That's what makes it more accessible, or what sort of distinguishes that from, say, some sort of a mid-major tournament?
Yeah, the buy-ins are going to be super affordable, and then just we market a lot to try to get the newbies in. You know, you're going to have an amateur crowd usually, and that's probably a little more inviting than a new player going into, like, say, a higher buyer tournament, and they're intimidated or they don't have the funds to pay that high. So it really, really focuses on bringing in newbies into the game and making them feel comfortable to play and such.
Well, you can make your quote unquote bosses feel really good by telling them you connect with Rec Poker. We'll do some work together. We'll get a bunch of people there. We'll do a Rec Poker road trip. We'll go crush the casino. The numbers will be great. You'll look like a genius for being the ambassador, and we're gonna have a blast with all of our Rec Poker folks. So we got this thing figured out. So we can talk offline more about that. But no, that sounds super exciting, because I think, obviously any recreational player can play any tournament, but something geared toward the recreational player, I think is a pretty compelling piece.
Absolutely. I love what they're doing, and I just cannot wait to get started. It's going to be amazing. And I'm in with the Rec Poker. Let's do it, because I love
right.
to be a genius.
Right. You're a genius. You came on the right podcast. You're here. You got Rec Poker Nation supporting everything you do. Say, one of the other things that I saw that you're involved with, and I was really curious about this, and forgive me for not knowing about this until I looked at your stuff, was something called, let's see, what was it called? The Flophouse Poker Club, which has the tagline, the hottest poker radio club in town. And I'm thinking, what's a poker radio club? I don't know what that is. So maybe share a little bit about that.
Well, the owner basically named it the Poker Radio Club. It's more like a podcast. It's kind of what you guys do. However, it's not video yet. And then we interview some awesome players. We've had some really cool people. Jennifer Harmon just recently came on. We have Antonio Esfaniari potentially rescheduling. We kind of blew that one we couldn't get the correct setup when he was supposed to come on. So that was like a super bummer. But yeah, we've had a lot of amazing players come on and just talk about their journeys, and players can ask them. They have a chat room kind of like you guys, and players can ask them like whatever questions they may have. And Jennifer Harmon by far has the best stories.
Is that right?
Amazing. You guys need to get Jennifer Harmon on your show.
Yeah, well, if you got the connection, we're always looking for new folks, so that'd be great.
Yeah, put the good word in. Let's do that. We'd love that.
I can definitely ask her. She said, if you have any questions or need any help with anything, I will help you. I said, okay, I'm going to use that.
There you go. Beautiful. So it's called a poker club, but it's more like a podcast thing, or is there actually playing that's involved with it?
Well, they actually do some, like a tournament series. They call it an AmPro series. And I actually just took third in the championship. You have to play for 17 weeks. And you play for 17 weeks. You have to win one. I won one and took second in two, I believe.
Nice.
But that gets you qualified. And then it has the amateurs and some pros that come in, and you basically just get the bragging rights. Marty, he's not having fun. Yeah, so I took third, and it was awesome. They do just like poker series. I personally don't play a lot just because I'm playing other stuff, and I took a lot of time off to write my book. But yeah, they do amazing stuff. So it's also a really good thing to kind of incorporate newbies, because it's like a free poker league and you get to play. You can play with pros, there's amateurs, and you don't have to risk anything when you get into the game. So I believe that also incorporates a lot of amateurs into the game, and people have fun, and it really helps people that they just want to play in COVID and maybe they don't have the funds. So
Yeah, it sounds like a lot like we're doing the same thing. We do like 10 tournaments a week online, free. We're getting like 70 to 90 people. So those of you who are out there in Rec Poker Nation, get signed up and play this thing. John Somsky organizes all of that. He's on the call here. And maybe we should learn more about what Starr does. And maybe we could add another series, John. We could add some more tournaments into this thing.
That's true. We have lots of hours in the day that are available there.
Yeah, to be fair, there are several hours during the day where there are no home game running at all. Is that correct? Like some hours out of each and every day, you're actually not running a home game at the moment. Like, so there's a void.
That is
there
true.
are voids. There are voids.
So Starr, it's sort of a running joke that we have that John keeps adding more and more tournaments because more people want more games. So we'll get John figuring out the next series that Starr can teach us about. But talk a little bit about the book. So I know that you, like you said, you were kind of writing the book there. What's the status? What's the story? What's going on there?
So my entire life, I always wanted to find a way to alleviate stress for humanity. I'm a humanitarian at heart, and I'm also an empath. So I feel other people's pain kind of, as you would feel it. I feel it that strong.
Yeah.
So I said, when there is a will, there's a way. I'm going to find a way to find the formula to ultimate peace. So unfortunately, you got to be careful what you ask for, because I think in order to find this formula, I ended up going through a lot of tragedy and a lot of loss. And, I had to learn how to recover from it. And I had to learn how to find that ultimate peace and happiness again. And everything that I went through, helps me to come from rock bottom and find the way. And I did a lot of study work, a lot of spiritual. I followed a lot of, spiritual leaders and their help. And I came up with the formula, and I'm living it. And I just want to share it with everybody, because it's so amazing just to be at complete peace and not be fearful of anything. And it is God-based. So if you don't like, he's trying to steal the camera. Do you see this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It is God-based. So if you love God and you want to be ultimately happy, and then I have a formula to create the life of your dreams, and I write it as the events unfold. So there's some surprises and there's a love story, and I'm really happy with it. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. And
so what's the name of the book?
It's called Doorstep to Heaven.
Okay. All right. And it's partially your own story, partially just sort of the investigation that you did and how to get there and help other people get to the same place that you're at.
Yeah. And I'm also a vessel to God. So I wrote his ultimate truth, which is love. So basically try to act in love in everything that you do. And there's nothing that he won't give you. And he promises that. So I just want to get the message out that God loves us no matter what. And we all make mistakes. And it's got some poker stories in it too. And the sequel will have more, because I just did pretty good in the series. So I'm going to add it.
A lot of things happening down in Mississippi. So that sounds
I love it here. It's literally the best kept secret. I love it. So
well, good luck with the book. That's super exciting. Congratulations on that. And I know, writing a book is no easy task. We've got Chris Jones, who works in literature and has written a book, and he knows it's no easy task. So congratulations on that. Let's talk a little bit about your poker journey. So how did you get into poker to start with, and what did that look like growing up?
I was actually super young. My dad used to have home games when I was like 9, and he could not keep me off the table. I was like, I have to learn this game. It looks like so much fun, because they're just having a blast, and it's a card game. So of course I wanted to play. He got tired of saying no. So one day I got on his lap and I played all of his hands and I won. And I never stopped since. When I was 21 and I was legal, I went to Sandia Casino and I won my very first tournament. That was all luck. I didn't really know play then. And I decided to move to Vegas in 2009 or 10, I believe. And I started doing cocktailing and playing because I wanted to kind of work into being able to be a professional and just play. So I did that for about 4 years, and then I decided to become a pro. And I think it's been about 2.5 years now, and I am playing professionally and loving it. And I would recommend it to anybody who's willing to put in a lot of work because it's not easy.
Yeah. So are you primarily a cash player then, or cash and tournaments? What's your specialty?
I do cash and tournaments.
Okay. And are you doing a lot of online now with COVID, or were you doing a lot of online before? What sort of like, if we didn't have COVID, what would be sort of your mix of live and online?
If we didn't have COVID, I would play more live than online. And I'd just do like a lot of traveling and go to Vegas and Florida and all sorts of other places. So now with COVID, I play a lot more online, and I only play really on ACR. Sometimes bet online, but I haven't won a flip in 44 hands. So I think I'm done with that site.
Well, that'll be perfect. You'll fit right in here because literally nobody associated with rec poker has ever won a flip. Never. And
Never?
they've never won with ace king, George, and their pocket aces have never held. So you are in good company.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's
Some
really,
would say
it's
we're
really
due.
crazy. Yeah.
Some would say we're due.
So you guys would understand some run bad.
Sure. Well, yeah, we all do, because none of us, we absolutely, literally, all of the thousands of listeners, everybody listening to this show runs below average variance. It's unbelievable how that's when tongue in cheek. Yes.
Maybe me coming in will like help us all like mesh to
Maybe.
the worst and then go to the great.
I like our odds. I
It's
like
just-
our odds.
Yeah, people don't email me and talk about their run good. They just don't happen.
Yeah.
They email me and they tell me all about how amazing they played over the last few weeks. And then they email me and they tell me how bad they're running the last couple of weeks. So it's one or the other kind of thing. So all right, so what's kind of coming up? What's you got the Mississippi stuff. You're playing online. You're promoting the book. You're doing a few different things. What else do you have coming up? Anything that we should be paying attention to?
Well, I'm about to hit the road to hit Houston. There's a series out there at Prime Social, which I'm like extremely excited for because I haven't been there and it looks amazing. And apparently there's a club in there, which I don't drink, but I love to dance. So I'm excited. I'm actually due in Austin on the 21st for my book signing and the official book launch. I did my book launch online through Amazon. So I'm going to do the official book launch at the Lodge Poker Room. They are amazing and they offered to do that. And I'm also going to have a birthday party while I'm there at the Lodge. So you guys are all invited. Come on
Here we
down.
go, man. We're invited to a lot of stuff, you guys. This is fantastic. So panelists and the people that are in the chat, feel free to send in some questions or whatever. We got a few minutes left, but one thing I did want to ask is now that you're playing professionally, and obviously you're still doing a number of different things. You're doing the ambassadorship and you're writing and some of those things, but as a pro, and obviously you're moving up in stakes, I assume, that kind of thing. How are you actually improving your game? Like what's the technique you're using? Are you reading? Are you getting coaching? Are you doing study groups? Are you having hand histories with friends? Or what sort of, by what process do you actually improve your game?
I actually started doing all of that stuff. I'm fortunate enough to have some amazing players as friends that started doing some hand histories with me. That got me kind of thinking into like a bigger headspace as far as the game goes. And then I also like to study through upswing poker and some different books, like Razor's Edge was one of my favorites. And I did a Ben C's online class, and that's called Razor Edge, I believe, as well. Yep. And then I also like to just be as creative as possible. So I play as much as possible because I truly feel that playing will get you to the top of the caliber. Just the hands, the hours put in, because when you get through certain situations all the time, you're like, okay, he has this.
Yeah.
So I've gotten a really good knack at getting some hands face up, which is like my specialty. And I actually started coaching on that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that my main thing is that I like to take super creative lines where players would say, there's no way she has this hand in this spot, against like the GTO players that are like, there's no way this hand is played like that. So I try to work on creative lines every time I play and just come up with like new concepts and everything else, because I play the sport because I like creativity. So the only reason I do study GTO and stuff like that is to kind of play against that. But yeah, I recommend that to the newer players is be creative, because I think it's easier to read people who are kind of pinned on one type of strategy, as opposed to being able to create your own lines and do things that are out of the norm.
So I want to know if I have permission. So like when I play a hand really poorly, right? If I take a really bad line, I play it really poorly and I get berated for that, can I just have your permission to say I was just taking a creative line? Can I just get that? All right, that's what I need to know. We do have a question from Kim. She asks, do you think that being a female in poker today is an advantage?
I think it can be an advantage in certain situations, and then it could be a disadvantage in certain situations. So if I've noticed in certain parts of the country, there's more players that are less likely to fold to you. I don't know what it is. I really don't know how to explain the mentality, but that kind of takes your bluff edge away and your position play and stuff. So if you're running card dead, it's real hard to position play and get people to fold to you. So that's a little bit hard. But when you're running amazing and nobody's folding,
right? When you're just value betting like crazy.
Yeah, you're just printing equity there. But yeah, so it just depends. And I think as a woman in certain spots, like I've had people fold in like a satellite to me in the small blind when I only had like 2.5 blinds. But I'm also friendly. So, I mean, right. I think it's got its pros and its cons for sure. Okay.
Well, any other questions from the folks? Kim says same. She's had the same sort of experience. I know she plays quite a bit as well. So that is interesting for sure. Rob, John, Jim, Chris, any questions from you guys, or Jacob, Jim, Kim, Stewie? You guys, any questions? All right, well, we can wrap it up there. I guess the question is sort of what should we be watching for, and how do people connect with you? If they're like, hey man, I kind of like this Starr, I kind of like her vibe, I like to find out her book, or I'd like to go dancing and not drinking, or whatever it is that people maybe resonated with, how could they reach out to you, or how do they connect with you on social media?
Starr Valdez on Facebook, so 2 R's and then Valdez, and Instagram. I have to become more lively on Instagram, but I do have an Instagram, and it's Valdez77, I believe.
Okay.
And then my book is available on Amazon. And if you'd like to come meet me and get it signed, then February 23rd at the Lodge Poker Room. I would love to meet you guys and help you with any questions that you may have coming into the game. I am more than willing to help anybody in the game to grow and to just start playing more. And if they're interested in becoming pro, I have no problem. I love taking my time to help grow the game. And I also love making players better, because that's how I get better, is playing good players. And I can make players better.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that assessment. So we have to connect about the APAT at some point. Once that gets rolling, we'd love to see if there's a way that we can partner with some of those things, because that sounds like right up our alley. But guys, check it out. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, maybe, even though she's not doing a lot. but go check her out, connect with her, and check out the book and all that kind of stuff. But Starr, been a pleasure meeting you. Marty, nice to meet you. Marty, hey Marty. Yeah, there. Hey, Marty. Nice to meet you, Marty. But seriously, Starr, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I had so much fun, and I look forward to our bash out here in Biloxi.
Oh yeah, count on it.
Look forward to it. Well, we're going to hang on here and do some housekeeping stuff, so you can just sign off, Starr. But once again, take care and all the best, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. Well, there she goes, Starr Valdez, you guys. Nice to meet her. One of those poker personalities that we haven't had an opportunity to meet. So that was pretty cool to connect with her. Any thoughts, reactions, guys? Chris?
Yeah, no, I mean I don't know about the Apat poker tour. I guess it's mostly been European, but that sounds cool. Maybe, hopefully, that's got when COVID ends, maybe we've got a Midwest presence for that. That would be kind of cool to check it out.
Yeah, I heard that she was an ambassador for that, so I started doing research, and the first thing I noticed, they spell organizations wrong, like with an S instead of a Z. Okay, well, there's a clue right there that something's wrong.
Yep. Or European.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
all of our
next thing you
European
know-
friends, you're not wrong. I'm just having fun with it.
He gives me the same treatment about all the proper and correct U's that we put in all these words, just for the record.
All the extra U's, yeah.
Yeah.
Kim, that's kind of fun that you guys are
Just
better. Yeah,
Adding some extra color to your
Yes, exactly.
What's
Just
that,
a little
Chris?
flavor.
a little
Yeah.
flavor and color.
Yeah, on my honor.
Honor. Yeah. Well, good stuff, guys. That was fun to meet her and connect a little bit, and it's just fun to get a broad spectrum of who's out there in the poker world.
Yeah.
Doing their thing. Everybody's doing their thing in Mississippi.
The other thing that I think is interesting is, I've heard that the poker scene down in that part, kind of the Gulf Coast region of the U.S. is pretty strong. So, be cool to check it out someday. I guess.
Isn't that where Moneymaker's down there somewhere? He was in Alabama or
Yeah,
or
is he in Tennessee, or is he down in?
No,
Yeah, I think he's in Tennessee now.
I think
Where
so.
he is now? 'Cause I thought when they moved, like COVID, I thought they moved south, like down to the shore.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe.
Trying to remember.
You might be right.
That would, boy, that
I
had,
know
to hurt, that had to hurt, John.
Well, yeah,
You might be
doesn't
right.
happen very often. So, no, but Biloxi, that was one of Gavin Smith's favorite stops.
Oh,
A bunch of other people, like Daniel Negreanu, hates it because,
Oh, really?
well, they evidently don't do vegan food very well.
Oh,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
That
I
That
wouldn't-
makes sense. That checks out.
And I'm guessing for Gavin Smith, the only requirement was that there be a decent bar. So
and no
yeah,
vegan
and
food.
yeah, and I've never been there myself, so
I haven't
nothing
either, but I
good-
would imagine that vegan food might be low on the list.
I've been to Biloxi. I didn't play poker there, but I did hit the couple of casinos while we were there. They're all on the ocean.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think the law is that it can't be on solid ground. And so they're actually on the ocean, but of course you just walk right into them, but they're on floating piers or whatever,
Right.
and it's pretty, a unique situation. Like she said, they're all lined up there right on the ocean front. So it's kind of it's a cool place. I mean, it's a very cool place.
And how was the quinoa?
The what?
Have you seen? All right, so now we're rambling. Now we're going to sound like every other podcast. We're just going to ramble. But have you seen those progressive commercials where?
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Those commercials. I just had Tracy watch all of those where they're teaching not to be like your parents. And one of the things is he wrote quinoa on the whiteboard, and people are trying to figure out how to say it, and they couldn't figure it out. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, well, let's segue into some of the other stuff. So maybe we'd start home games. Or Jim, do you got something?
Should we hear from our friend Jonathan Little before we?
Should do that. Yes.
He's so friendly and accommodating. We should just let him come in there.
He's
He's
very consistent. He's very consistent with how he sounds on the show. Hey, Jonathan, do you have anything for us this week?
Have you ever wondered whether you should call a preflop raise or 3-bet instead? What do you do when you have a flush draw? Do you raise it or do you just call? What do you do with ace-king when you miss the flop? Are you tired of guessing about what the right play is with your particular hand? Well, my name is Jonathan Little, and I am a 2-time World Poker Tour champion and creator of PokerCoaching.com, where we offer over 1,000 interactive hand quizzes where you play a hand and then get real-time feedback from our world-class pros. Don't guess and don't stress. Just register for your free account at PokerCoaching.com/recpoker right now.
All right, good stuff. Good dude. Great friend of the show. People that I know that have walked through his stuff learn a ton. And he's a great ambassador for the game. So thanks, Jonathan, for being part of Rec Poker Nation. So thanks, Jim, for remembering that Jonathan's part of Rec Poker Nation as well. So thanks for that. But John, where were we at? Home games, man.
Well, before we get to that, I'm just shocked that Jonathan Little, his timing is always so perfect. He jumps on, but before we even have a chance to ask him any questions, he's off again. And you'd swear he repeats everything he says in such precision, you'd think it was the recording.
Yeah,
It's just
I know.
phenomenal. It's amazing.
Well,
he's a machine. He's a machine. He's a technician. He's just in and out. He hits his marks like a pro, and then he goes on about his day because his time is valuable and he has things to do.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad that we just had him kind of sitting there waiting, and Jim had to remind me that he was sitting there waiting.
Well, I know. I was wondering if you were ever going to get around to him, or if you were just going to leave him there.
He was starting to look impatient. Yeah, and when he gets angry, that's a formidable thing.
But he's a professional.
Yeah. Okay, so home game stuff. The first exciting piece of news is that we had a record turnout for our Wednesday night No Limit Hold'em Championship Series. We had 91 players, which is a record for Rec Poker. And none other than Eric Molina, Rob Brereton, got his very first No Limit Hold'em Series win with that. And I think he said now he's gotten a daily and a no limit and a mixed game series. So he's got the trifecta going there.
Nice.
So it's his first one this year, right? First one of the year.
This is his first No Limit Hold'em series, period.
Oh, it is. That's shocking to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's won lots of other tournaments. He's won several daily.
Oh, the monthly ones. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
The crown jewel of the Rec Poker home game.
So the crown jewel is the one I'm going to win tonight. That's the crown
jewel. Looking for one of these, Steve.
Calling my shot, baby.
Yeah. Well, I am calling my shot as well. I will not be winning it because I did not qualify to play it.
But I think, John, you are so due to win that monthly mixed game because you haven't won one yet, have you? I know you're always.
No, I haven't.
Rubbing it in.
Not rubbing it in.
Steve just twists the knife. You haven't won one of those yet, have you, John? Just checking.
I'm not above
Steve,
that.
I have not one of them.
I'm not above that, but I wasn't that time because John's due. I mean, he's such a beast of these mixed games. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Hey, John, have you won one yet?
No. Okay, to continue on here. So February 1st, we had Lefty 19, Mike Bocello, got his first daily series victory of the year. Keck Geek 65 on the 2nd and the 4th. Now notice those are not quite back to back because Wednesday was in between, but that's still quite impressive. 3rd and 4th victory this year.
Oh my God! It's only February.
I thought we said if the people that won were actually joining the podcast in the chat, we weren't going to say their names. I thought that was kind of the thing. Jacob's here. I don't. Do we need to say his names and talk about how amazing he is and how he's like the player to win to beat this year?
No, I don't think we need to mention Jacob Kiki at all, or the fact that he's won 13 daily series tournaments overall and for this year. I don't think any of that needs to be mentioned or discussed at all.
Thank you for not mentioning that. And I think, going back, over the last 8 months, right? No disrespect to Doug Graybeck, Maker 44, but Kiki's on fire. And these things are going to get harder and harder to win as we have 80, 90 people in these things too. So what he's done, I think, is pretty remarkable. I think it's moving beyond the positive variance piece to, okay, this kid's something to be reckoned with. So
yeah, well, I'm also not impressed enough to bring it up. I'm just not going to mention Jacob Kiki tonight because that's the way I feel about it. It's a stand I'm taking. I'm drawing a line.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I'm not going to mention is the fact that he's called his shot and said that his goal was to win at least 10 tournaments this year. I believe that was what he said, and he's almost halfway there.
Jacob, is that what you said? Because I remember that was like, it's gonna be a tougher year. This isn't 2020. This is 2021, and the stakes have risen. I thought that was pretty aggressive, but he's on pace for like 25 of them. So
yeah.
Way to go, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have Glassjaw 2222 got his first daily series victory of the year, 2nd lifetime. Binkley Eric Jin got his first daily series victory for the year.
Nicely done, buddy.
And then Elvis 76, Steve Krebs, won the daily mix series practice game.
Thank you very much. Every
Yeah.
time, hey, in the chat, every time you tell Elvis, you tell him nice hand, he's going to say TYVM. It's genius. Like a remote. He does. It's genius.
All right, then we have Uncle Tom's Cabin. Jeff S. got his first international Daily Series victory. And Monkey System Keith Brandt also got his first international Daily Series victory.
Way to go, Keith.
And Anciano 1941, Mark Foster got his first Daily Series victory for the year.
Nice.
It's a free home game. Let's get these crushers out of here.
Yeah, that's right.
I know Jeff just won that one too. I know him from running Aces. Very solid player. He started playing recently. Like, we're attracting crushers. We're not attracting fish. Like, we're all. I mean, but I'm learning the game so well by playing with these people. So it's impressive, man. It's impressive.
Yeah, well, Jacob says 20 is the number that he's shooting his shot for 20. So he has to come in a little under 2 a month. That's his goal. 20 is the goal for Jacob in 2021. The clock starts a little over a month ago.
Keep playing those international series and those practice mix games. You only get 20 people.
That'll be impressive. 20 victories. That's.
I know.
Well, technically, given that it's only the 8th of February right now, and he's gotten 4 down for the year, his rate is, right now it looks like more like 26, 27 that he might get.
God.
All right.
He has some breathing room. He can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
That should be, an aside, but I think, Chris brought up maybe we can talk about the heads up tournament, since, that's sort of the home game thing too, but maybe that'll be sort of an incentive at some point down the road to get people into the bracket. If we do this again, as wins or results or something, it'd be kind of fun to put together a bracket.
Yeah, for sure.
Results.
The only problem is if we actually talk about people getting able to play that based upon merit, I'm afraid I won't be invited back.
No, me either. We still need the core team one. We still need that one.
No, what we do. So, like, I think we have the community bracket side and the core team bracket side, and then the winner.
Oh, I kind of like that. Yep.
Yeah, that could be a shot to get to that point then. with you schmucks.
That's right. We don't have to earn our spot, so it's not merit based on our end.
I'm only making it to the championship if I get 3 buys in a row. That's the only way so talk about that. I don't know, either one of you, whoever wants to, but what is this heads up thing? Unfortunately, this first go around is not for the open community, but what do we have going on here?
Yeah, we're testing it out. Taylor announced it on his Twitch stream, but also, we're gonna kind of talk about it here as well. I mean, we kind of teased it at the beginning of the year, but we're basically we're kind of testing out the platform to see how this works. But we're doing an 8-person bracket tournament based on the core team. We're not really seeding people. We're creating matchups that'll become a tournament, and we're gonna live stream the games with commentary in March. So we'll have every round matchup with cards up. If everything goes correctly, we'll be able to show everybody's cards up, and be able to sort of talk about some of the heads up play, some of the heads up decisions. I think it'll be great. I think it's going to be really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we've got the editing figured out so that each person records their own thing privately, but then we combine those 2 files so that who's ever commentating sees the cards heads up or face up for both players. So should be pretty epic. Yeah. And we're calling it Marek Madness.
Yeah, Marek Madness. So I think that's going to take place during our typical Thursday streaming slots. So look for those coming in Thursdays in March.
On the Twitch channel?
On the Twitch channel, yep.
Yep, so twitch.tv/poker, which is phenomenal. It's Card Player Lifestyle's channel. They let us use that and we crash it on Thursday nights. And so that's where you're going to get to see these heads up matches with the commentary taking place. So it'll be pretty fun for sure. Anything else, John, on the home games or?
I don't think so. I think that's it for this week.
Okay. What's the So I know this Wednesday, which we're recording before that, it'll be over before it's the deuce to 7. What's the next mixed game for February?
I
for
believe
March?
it's PLO.
I'm sorry.
PLO.
Straight up
Pot
PLO.
Limit Omaha. Yep.
Straight up. All right, baby. Not any weird sort of variant that deuce
Yeah,
to
for you
7,
there is.
quadruple draw.
Yeah,
For you, your aces don't play.
right.
Yeah.
You just have to throw those away. So if you
That'll
get 4
help you-
aces, you have no hand.
Steve, that'll help you figure out if they're high or low or not. You just don't play them in this round.
I know, deuce to 7. Now, thank God you have these practice things, because deuce to 7, it took me 2 or 3 tournaments before I kept thinking that 6, 4, 3, 2 ace was the nuts. I'm like, I know it's called deuce to 7. I know what it's called, but I just couldn't help but thinking the ace had to be really good here. So yeah, I made one call with ace high. It was not a good call.
Stu in our chat here says that he loves PLO. So
Yeah.
Stu, every Saturday leading up to that second Wednesday of the month. So from now till then, every Saturday you can go and there'll be a mixed game variant practice game on Saturdays at 9. It happens at the same time as the Saturday night Hold'em game. So you can play them both if you want to get confused. But get in there and wreck the practice game. Get yourself
So
a pin.
9 o'clock Eastern, because Jim has the wrong time zone because he
Oh,
lives in the wrong
right.
part of the country.
Yeah,
No, we're
sorry.
central. We're central, Jim.
Yep.
9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. Whatever.
Yeah,
time
and that
it's
Saturday game always matches what the following Wednesday championship game will be. So we're going to have 4 shots at playing PLO so you can get practice. And by the time this is out, it will have happened already. But for those of you here, we'll be playing deuce to 7 this very week. That's one of my favorite games.
Some of our premium members that get to join us here live in the recording every single week, chatting with our guests and getting that kind of VIP info from John.
And you know who's been playing the deuce to 7 practice ones? He can't play Wednesday because he has a different thing, a commitment on Wednesday nights. Bernard Lee has been playing the last few Saturdays, the deuce to 7. He says it's his favorite game as well. Deuce to 7 is his favorite game. So he's been playing. So it's been super fun to be chatting with him. And he's just like, I love this. This is so much fun. So that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I noticed he didn't end up winning any.
He didn't. He finished pretty high, but no, I think he was top 5 on Wednesday night. And he had the chip lead with like 10 left or something. I thought, here he goes. He's going to win this thing, but he did not.
Bernard, if you're listening, and I know you are, come see us on
John at rec.poker.
Oh no.
Well, good stuff. Anything else on the home games front, John?
Nope, I think we're good to go.
Amazing stuff again. Chris, how about membership side of things, content side?
Just getting ready for our March content along with our heads up tournament. We'll be talking all March about betting patterns. So we'll have our seminar on the topic. I'm really interested in this conversation. Something I've been thinking about more and more is like, what can we learn about the way in which typical betting patterns happen? I think we can learn a lot about how to read various spots. And so it should be a good conversation.
I'm excited about that. Just not even from the side of, what are other people's betting patterns telling us, or what insights can we get? Obviously that's helpful, but what are people learning about my betting? What are people assuming based on my betting patterns? Because I know I do have certain patterns that I think are locked in enough to be leaks. I think I'm very predictable in some of my betting patterns. And so I think I'm looking forward to that, from learning what we can learn about other people so that I can understand what people are taking advantage of me on.
Right.
Yeah, I thought the last few, it's funny, the last few seminars you've done, Chris, I love the way you are kind of stacking the topics on top of each other, because when we were preparing to do draws, I thought this is going to be my favorite one. And then when we started doing tells, I was like, okay, well, this is really important. I'm glad we did this. The last one on board texture, I think is actually my favorite and completely blew my mind. Like, I learned a lot from working with you on that seminar. And now that we're doing post flop lines, I'm like, I this is going to be my favorite one. I can't wait. I'm so excited for this.
It's too bad Jim doesn't get excited about this.
Yeah, I got to find a podcast around a subject that I enjoy. Finally.
You need to find a passion area. So we also have the Fareed Jatin course going on. We've had as of the time of recording, we had the first 2 sessions. Fantastic stuff, great dialogue. We're doing this other supplemental training side, great conversation. So that's been going great. Say, Rob, so I'm trying to remember if now, once Fareed is done, we start looking at the book studies again. Have we already decided on the book? Or are we still thinking through that? Do you need input from the Rec Poker Nation? Kind of where are we at with book studies?
Well, what I plan on doing, I've got 16 books. So I'm going to put Twitter surveys out there, 4 books at a time. And so I'll end up with the top 4, and then I'll do one last survey of those top 4, and whichever one gets selected, that's the one we're going to go with. And I'll probably start putting those out this week.
Love it. Sort of another bracket sort of approach.
Kind of, yeah.
4 by 4.
If I could figure out how to do a bracket on Twitter, I'd probably do it that way. But
that sounds really solid, though.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna group them in groups of 4, and then the top 4, the top 4 will go into the last group survey, and whichever one we come up with, that's what everybody wants to do. That's the one we're gonna do.
I love it. I love that we're putting as much of this as we can into the hands of all you guys out there that are listening, because we want to do whatever the people want to do, and so. I love that with the Reckies, people, nominated names and they came up with the winners, and now the book club and all that stuff. And I know Chris is open. We're all open to any feedback you guys have on ideas for blogs or for content or whatever. So please give us your thoughts. What do you want to hear more of? That stuff is all super helpful. Maybe on Facebook too. Kim says on Facebook too. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account. I don't plan on having a Facebook account. I stay away from Facebook as much as I possibly can. So if somebody wants to take what I do on Twitter and put it on Facebook, that'd be great. But I'm not doing it.
Okay, but honestly, that's a great point though. Like if you're a fan of Rec Poker and you don't have $15 a month to support us with premium membership, there's all sorts of great ways you can help out. Take something that Rob's putting out there on Twitter and put it out on Facebook. Share it, like it, please rate the podcast. All that stuff helps us in ways that it's kind of hard to see in real time, but it does help us out a lot for sure.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is if somebody could please look at a tutorial on how to start a Facebook account and send that to Rob, that would be great.
No.
Rob wants to be on Facebook.
I could figure out Facebook if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Sure, Rob.
The key is I don't want to.
Prove it.
I don't blame
Prove it.
Yeah.
I am at Radman50 on Twitter. At Radman50.
That's where you're gonna find me, dog.
I think I've said that in every podcast that we've done.
Everywhere.
I'm Radman50 everywhere.
And up here in Canada, we just got ICQ recently, so I'll put that out on that platform.
Oh, nice.
And maybe AOL Messenger or something. I got a bunch of new CDs in the mail.
Nice.
I can't wait to load that up.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got it covered.
Radman50. All right, so anything else, guys, for the good of the order? What else is going on? What else is about? Anything, guys? Well, I find
Love and life.
Everything good? All right, well, let's wrap it up there. I'm not going to cue you too early, Jim. I'm going to cue you at some point. That'll probably be the long point. But guys, just go to rec.poker. All of our stuff is out there. Sign up for the newsletter. We send out a weekly this week in twerp. This week in Rec Poker. We send that out, so check that out. Thanks to our sponsors, Running Aces Racetrack, Casino, and Hotel. You guys are the absolute best. Thanks to our panel. You guys are awesome. Thanks to Starr Valdez for joining us. Thanks to the members of the chat, and we will chat with you all next week.